consciousness in her purest, beautiful form. Has no past. Consciousness who has no past is happy. And the very perception of attention without past is bliss. It's infinite. Without name, without form, without need for name or form. So what does it mean when we say we are carrying pain? We are carrying suffering from our past. We are carrying trauma. What does that mean? We say, I am unhappy because something that happened a year ago, 10 years ago, 50 years ago. What does that mean? Doesn't it mean in order to feel the pain and suffering of what happened in the past, we have to think about it? We have to think about it. We have to identify with the thinking. We have to say, this is me. I am my past. This happened to me. Therefore, I am unhappy now. Not making light of it. But for trauma, for past trauma to bring unhappiness to us, we have to keep thinking about it. The thought of, you did this to me, or this person did this to me in the past, and therefore I am unhappy. Therefore I am wounded. What is actually happening is we are thinking a thought that we call a memory, and we are reacting to the pain of that thought. And you can go through therapy and you can make peace with the thoughts, with the stories. It can be helpful. But if you really want to be free of trauma, what you're actually looking to be free of is the thought, is the grabbing hold of the thought, grabbing hold of the stories. We have to keep repeating the stories so that this person is real. This person who is the past, who is memory, is real. Yeah. It's like mantras we repeat. This happened to me and therefore I carry pain. This happened to me 50 years ago and therefore I am unhappy now. This is the mechanism of what we call pain, is the repetition of thoughts, repetition of memories. Not pure memories, but embellished memories. Remembering certain thoughts and the feelings, the reactions to those thoughts over and over. But as we said in the beginning, consciousness, who has no memory, not because consciousness has forgotten or has amnesia. Consciousness in its purest form has no thought. Is prior to thought, prior to memory, prior to the I who claims to be the memory. This consciousness is the supreme joy, is the truth of who you are, of what life is, prior to mind, prior to thought, prior to ego. So then, if you want to be free of trauma, if you want to be free of unhappy memories, you got to stop picking them up, repeating them. And that's why we meditate. To have some time during the day where we are consciously not picking up thoughts, not fighting with thoughts, but ignoring them. You could sit here and watch my video, not hear a word I'm saying. So you could do it, obviously. You might be watching the video and you think, God, he really has a big nose, and you won't hear anything I've said, or you feel the bliss in the video and the music, and you're lost in the bliss. You have no idea that was a good video, but I have no idea what he said. Said something about memory. So, in meditation, we stop picking up the thoughts, grabbing hold of them. If we stop picking up the thoughts, the mind stops thinking. It's like social media now with the AI technology. If you like gophers, you see a picture of a gopher, that social media site, it records, oh, Kip likes gophers. And then they just keep showing you gophers and gophers and gophers. Gophers with hats, gophers eating carrots, gophers riding bicycles, gophers dancing, gophers swimming. And the mind does the same thing. if you pay attention to certain thoughts, it keeps repeating those thoughts. But as soon as you stop looking at gophers, you don't care about gophers, it stops showing you gophers. Same thing with the mind. If you stop paying attention to certain thoughts, you remain in awareness. You don't pick the thought up. And then it stops playing those thoughts. If it stops playing those thoughts, the identity of who you are becomes free of those thoughts. You call that transformation, but what is the transformation? Transformation is you are free of certain thoughts. You're not denying the thoughts. You're not saying, oh, that didn't happen. You're just not paying attention to them. News station does the same thing. Says, oh, there's a war over here. And everyone says, oh my God, there's a war over here. And everybody pays attention to the war. But eventually, people stop thinking about the war. And it's not the war has stopped, it's the news stops showing you stuff about the war. Because you're not interested. News only wants to show you what you find interesting. The mind works the same way. You make peace with the memory, which means you allow the feelings that arise with the memory. Once you really allow the feelings that come with the memory, then the memory has no meaning to you anymore. You're not scared of the feeling behind it. You're not so identified with it. As you release all the thoughts, release holding on to the thoughts, grabbing hold of the thoughts, the joy of consciousness starts to shine through. The joy of consciousness, who is not bound by thought, who is actually prior to thinking, prior to identification, prior to ego, prior even to the physical. And the joy of this consciousness shines through. Listen to this music. Feel the bliss in this music. Bliss is more attractive than your thinking. You have to consciously realize that and say, I'm going to pay attention to the bliss. I can't pay attention to the bliss in these thoughts at the same time. So one of you's got to go. So you let go of the thoughts. Then those traumas eventually, when you really discover the bliss of pure consciousness, those traumas are like lifetimes ago. You may have the memory. The memory doesn't touch you so much anymore. Because you're interested in consciousness. You're interested in bliss more than the thinking. And you see who you are is fresh and new in this moment. It's not your past at all. Who you are is infinite joy. Your perception is from infinite joy. So perhaps this helps you get beyond trauma. The ego says, no, this is important. My memories are important. Keep meditating and meditating. Surrender the self-importance. Eventually it goes. Bliss takes its place. So if you got something good out of the video, please feel free to comment, share. May you be blessed in her one supreme joy, her one supreme happiness. May everyone and everything be blessed in her one supreme joy. Om Rim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma. Much love to you. Much love.